What's going on, FutureDDS family? We'd like to take a moment to recognize our sponsors for today's video, DAT Booster. DAT Booster is a DAT prep platform which we've seen help plenty of students improve their scores and actually gain acceptance into dental school. We've done multiple giveaways in the past for this platform, and it's actually come full circle to the point where Nick has actually used the program to improve his scores, and he's actually applying for dental school right now. So I want to give him a moment to explain a little bit about his journey, his process using the program, as well as give us a little bit more feedback about the platform himself.
Yeah, of course. So first of all, I absolutely love DAT Booster. I was studying for the DAT for over a year. So I've seen a lot of question banks, and DAT Booster by far just seemed to be the most up to date. And I'll give you guys an example. When I was taking the biology section on my real DAT, I saw 15 questions word for word from DAT Booster. And I know I wouldn't have been able to get a 30 on the bio section without them. And I ultimately got a 27 academic average. So that's been a huge help in applying to dental schools. I highly recommend them to any pre-dent considering using their program.
So another great thing about DAT Booster is the fact that they understand that you all are actual students, right? They know you have a lot to pay for, being with applications and the actual DAT exam itself. And so what they do is they give you access to their platform to take one free test just to make sure that you like it and it's a good fit for you. Here at FutureDDS, we always preach on preparation, and we believe that the DAT Booster program is great prep for your DAT exam. If you all are interested and want some more information, go ahead and click the link in our description below. Now let's get back to the video.
What up, guys? My name is Nick Bautista. I'm a second-year dental student at UNLV School of Dental Medicine. UNLV is in Las Vegas, Nevada, if you didn't know. And before I start this video, I just want to say thank you to the FutureDDS team for giving me this opportunity to tell my story. I know whenever I went through the application process, I was pretty unaware and it was pretty stressful. So hopefully I could give you guys more insight and make your guys' application process a little bit smoother. So yeah, before we get started, just a few fun facts about myself. I was born here in Vegas and then I moved around quite a bit. But I spent most of my time in Ramstein, Germany, because my dad was in the military. I was there from 5th grade to 12th grade. I graduated high school there, and then I moved back here to Vegas. I did my undergrad here. I studied kinesiology. I got my bachelor's degree in 3 years, and I used my 4th year to get ready for dental school. Extracurricular-wise, I wasn't really that involved. I wasn't in pre-dental society. I was in King Club, the kinesiology club, for about 1 semester, but that was it. Yeah, I didn't do much, so I would definitely recommend you doing a little bit more than I did, get a little bit more involved. It definitely makes your application look a little bit better. And it's good to kind of just be a part of a community like that. But don't get me wrong, I did volunteer at senior homes, like I did a service, like a spiritual service at senior homes. I led 2 fundraisers. It was an opportunity from work, but it wasn't for work. I helped kids across Nevada with education and awareness, safety awareness. And then I helped middle schoolers play basketball. I mentioned them playing basketball. But yeah, not that much. So I would definitely say get a little bit more involved. Definitely make your application look better. Another fun fact is I like to cut hair. I did cut my hair for this video, if you could see. And yeah, let's dive into these questions. So what got me interested into dentistry? So for me, like I said earlier, I do like to cut hair. And so I do have a thing for detail. I like to pay attention to detail. I do notice the small things. And dentistry has a lot of small things that you could really kind of focus on and kind of pay attention to. So not only does this career kind of hit my hobbies and my interests, but my parents always pushed higher education, and so I wanted to pursue higher education. It was between physical therapy and dentistry, but I feel like I related more to dentistry than I did physical therapy. For me, I felt like my smile had such a big impact on my life and played a significant role in influencing who I am today. I believe my outlook on life is affected by how much I smile. I'm known to smile a lot. I'm known to be very positive and very optimistic. And I attribute that to my smile because I believe it does influence me to think on the brighter side, to see the glass half full. And so I kind of want others to kind of experience that type of thing as well. If I wasn't as proud or if I wasn't as confident in my smile, I may be a little bit more shy because I tend to be on the shyer side sometimes. And so, if I could give someone else some confidence because I give them a smile that they're proud of, that they like seeing, then I'm all for it. And so something that really confirmed my desire to pursue dentistry and really work on smiles was whenever I was assisting on a crown delivery. And so we were delivering an anterior crown, and I had to stain and glaze it. So I had to make it look really pretty. And so whenever we delivered it, we showed it to him, and he saw it. He told us that he couldn't even tell that it was a crown. It blended in so well, and it made his smile look so much better than what it was before. And his smile was from ear to ear, and that moment really sticks with me. So that's what really made me want to pursue dentistry, so I could put smiles on other people's faces, and hopefully, they don't have to hide their smile. They could be happier and be a little bit more joyful. How did I approach studying for the DAT? So my mentality going into the DAT was that I knew it was important. I knew it was a very big part of your application. Even though I didn't know that, I did not do things the right way. So for me, I studied for about 2 months. It seems long, but it wasn't hardcore studying. I was working, and so I would wake up early, and I would only study for about 2 hours every morning, and the only resources that I used was the Kaplan DAT review book, and I took maybe 3 or 4 practice tests, the free ones. So I know the ADA has about 2 free practice tests, and there are some other ones that I found, but I definitely would not recommend doing that. I would definitely recommend utilizing more resources than I did. I would recommend maybe DAT bootcamp. I would recommend doing as many practice tests as possible, because come DAT day, come test day, the timing really can mess with you if you're not used to it, because I did leave a lot of points on the table because there were sections that I did not finish. Also, I would recommend understanding your timeline. Not everyone learns in the same way. Not everyone learns in the same time frame. And so you got to figure out what works best for you, because the information on the test is information that we've already learned. It's more so just reviewing. And so kind of figure out how much time you really need to dedicate to this. And just keep in mind that the application cycle, like the overall application cycle, opens early summer. So I believe it's June. So definitely try and take your DAT early. I took mine late, so don't follow my footsteps. But I actually didn't score that bad. I definitely will share my scores if you really want to know. My socials will be at the end of the video, so just message me if you want to know my scores. But they weren't the best, but they weren't that bad. So what do I think set me apart from other applicants? I think it was 3 things. So I think my GPA helped me stand. So what helped me stand out from other applicants? I think it was 3 things. I think it was my GPA. I think it was my letters of rec and my reaching out. So let me elaborate. So I don't mind sharing my GPA just because it is something I'm proud of. I graduated from my undergrad with a 3.94. My science GPA was just a little bit under that, but not too much under. I can't remember what it was, but pretty competitive. My letters of rec were pretty strong. Not my 2 from science professors. I'm not sure what they said. They were locked. I didn't really have a relationship like that with them, so I couldn't see it. But the other 2, I believe it's 2 from my GM from Old Navy, my general manager, and then from my orthodontist. So I I worked at an ortho office for a little bit, and both of them got to know me really well. They got to see my work ethic, they got to see how I was as a person, and it really encapsulated who I was in their letters of rec compared to the other ones, I believe. I think it's very well-rounded and very strong, and so I definitely do appreciate them because I did get to read those. So the last one was I reached out to UNLV's School of Dental Medicine Office of Admissions. So whenever I started undergrad, the very first year, I reached out. I sent a lot of emails throughout the whole 4 years leading up to dental school, just asking questions about the process, updating them with my situation. And I think that actually really helped me because I believe they were familiar with my name, they're familiar with my case. So whenever I submitted my application, I definitely do believe that played a big role. So the interview. For me, I submitted my application late October, early November, and I got my invite to interview maybe a couple weeks after. But because I submitted my application so late, I only had 2 days to prepare for the interview. It was normally like 7 to 10 days to prepare, but because of how late it was, I only had 2 days to prepare. But because of COVID, it was online and it wasn't like a Skype interview. So they set up this program in which you start the interview, it plays a video of them asking the question, and then you have 60 seconds to respond. The 60 seconds was pretty short. We didn't have enough time to fully elaborate on the question, and so it was pretty stressful. But after you answered the questions, you were done. After I believe it was like 6 questions, I can't remember fully, but after the questions were done, I didn't really feel that good because I felt like I was rushing. I was trying to meet the 60 seconds, but at the same time say all that I wanted to say, and so it didn't really go well. But I believe just because of the circumstances, it was understandable. So I'm not mad at the school. They didn't really hold it on me, as you could tell I'm in school. So very new, very different. It's not like that anymore. But yeah, interview day wasn't really anything crazy. It was pretty nerve-wracking, but yeah, I got home from work, put some nice clothes on, sat in front of my computer, and answered some questions. Some tips for the interview process. I believe preparing for the interview, So tips for the interview process. In order to prepare for the interview, I definitely believe you should look up the school that you want to go to and see what their core values are so that you can incorporate those things into your answers. And so I would also suggest looking up online popular dental school interview questions, watch videos, watch mock interviews, watch anything that you can, look up any other questions that you can. Just get exposed to as many questions as you can and kind of go through it either with your pre-professional mock interviews, with your family, your friends, your loved ones. Just try and get as many reps in as possible so that you're comfortable in answering any question that's thrown at you. And keep in mind those core values. And also, that's just the answering portion of it. I would definitely hope to make you aware that during the interview day, they're not just looking at what you say, but they're also looking at how you carry yourself. So from the moment you step on the campus to the second that you step off, just hold yourself in a professional manner, be humble, be kind. Just be yourself. I'm pretty sure you all are great people, so just be yourself. And hopefully they could truly see the type of person that you are during that day. Because it's not just the questions that you answer, but it's also how you treat others and how you treat them. For me, why did I choose UNLV? UNLV was actually the only program that I applied to. And I only applied to UNLV because I take a lot of pride in the people that I represent, the places that I'm from. And so being born in Las Vegas, I just wanted to go to school in Las Vegas. But not to be cliche, there's other reasons as well. The financial aspect. So if I had to pull out loans, I would have been under in-state tuition, and so that definitely would have been a little bit more affordable compared to going out of state somewhere else. So if I didn't get in, I probably would have applied some other cycle. But luckily, I did get the HPSP scholarship. And as a program itself, I do love its core value of community outreach. For me, I do like to give back. I think that's a very important part of life. And so to be a part of a program that gives back to the community, I couldn't be more proud of it. So what was my transition like from pre-dent to actually being a dental student? I'm not gonna lie, it was actually pretty smooth. But to be honest with you guys, there were moments in which I felt anxiety for the first time. I did feel overwhelmed, but I'm not gonna try and butter it up. That only happened a few times, and the way I handled those moments was kind of going back to my faith. I'm a very faithful person, and so I relied on my faith to get me through that situation. And after that, it never really happened again. Luckily, I didn't have to battle imposter syndrome, which is very common, but just know that we worked super hard to get in this position. You did, I did. We belong in dental school. We were chosen for a reason. We're well qualified, so never think you're an imposter or anything like that. So luckily, I did have that confidence in myself, so I didn't feel as an imposter. I think the hardest transition for me was trying to figure out my study habits. It's a little bit different studying for dental school than it was studying for undergrad. And so in the beginning, I wasn't performing as well as I wanted to, but once I kind of found my groove and found what worked best for me, it was okay. And so, yeah, transitioning wasn't bad. I mean, I worked in undergrad, so went to school. Dental school, I just go to school full time. I go to school for the whole day, come home, study, do a little bit of whatever I want to do, and that's it. So it was a good trade, so it wasn't too hard to transition. And you become really close with your classmates. They become your friends, and so you do fun things on the weekends. You're not always studying, so it was definitely a good transition for me. So what was a typical day as a first year dental student? So it definitely changed as the semesters went on. So first semester was completely different from third semester of first year. So that first semester there was a lot of gaps in our schedule. So our schedule, it lays out blocks from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And so there's a lot of gaps in between just because we were heavy didactic in the first semester. Not so much hands-on. I believe the most hands-on we had was a general clinics class, which is only one time a week, and then a waxing class. And so it was very heavy didactically. So we wouldn't exactly have to be on campus, we wouldn't have to be on campus that long. Sometimes we were there from like 10 to 3. Sometimes we were there from 8 to 3, 9 to 4. But our days were pretty short first semester, but it was definitely a really hard semester. Oh, I want to say really hard, but it was challenging. It was pretty challenging because we were taking around 30 credits. Second semester, we started spending more time on campus because we had a little bit more hands-on classes. We had perio, and then we started operative, or started working on restorations. And so the 10 to 3s didn't happen anymore. We were on campus, maybe classes were like maybe 9 to 4, 9 to 3, stuff like that. I don't remember exactly, but Monday through Friday, like no matter what, it's always gonna be Monday through Friday. But the hours spent on campus kind of increases as the semester goes on. And so third semester of first year, taking crowns, operative, and some other courses. And so there's a day in which we're in the sim lab from, I believe it was 8 to 5 p.m. just in sim lab. And so you spend a lot of time as time goes on campus, but it becomes more hands-on, so it's a lot more fun. And then sometimes you actually have to stay after class as well, so you're maybe there 12-hour days. It's not that uncommon because you have to finish your projects. What makes me most excited about going to my school is definitely the people. I've met some amazing people here at UNLV School of Dental Medicine, from the faculty to the students. There's just so many great people that I've met, which, makes it 10 times better. Makes me excited to go in, makes me happy to go in. Whenever I wake up, I look forward to going to school, because you go to school with your classmates every single day of the week. Well, maybe not every single day, but 5 days a week. And so you actually become pretty close to them. They become your closest friends sometimes. I know I've made some of my closest friends in dental school. And I didn't mention this in the previous question, but even though that first year was a lot for us, you don't spend all your time studying. So you're going to have time to go out. You're going to have time to plan some fun trips. You're going to be able to have a lot of fun during dental school. And I definitely would recommend you doing it, because, it shouldn't just be stressful. It shouldn't just be something that's like heavy on you. I think it's an overall experience, and that's why I look forward to going to UNLV School of Dental Medicine, is because I enjoy going to school with my friends. It's tough, but we get through it together. After we get through our exams, we get into something in Las Vegas. As you can expect, Las Vegas has a lot of activities that you can get into, and so it definitely makes it a lot more enjoyable. So what's my biggest piece of advice to pre-dents? I want to say I had my biggest piece of advice. I think I have 3 pieces for you. So first is going to be, don't be afraid to reach out. Second is going to be, so what's my biggest piece of advice to pre-dents? I want to say I had just one piece of advice that's the biggest. I have 3 pieces, so I'll go quick. So first is going to be, don't be afraid to reach out. Enjoy the process, and don't stress too much. So first thing, don't be afraid to reach out. Reach out to dental students at the programs that you want to apply to. Ask for any tips, any tricks. Don't be afraid to reach out to the admissions team at the schools that you want to apply to. That may actually help your application get noticed. It might actually help your application get pulled. Kind of just don't be afraid to reach out. Don't be afraid to reach out to your dentist for some shadowing hours or some assisting opportunities. Don't be afraid to ask your professors for letters of rec. For me, I got rejected by multiple professors that I asked for letters of rec, but I ended up getting 2, which I needed, and they may not have been the best, but they got me the requirement checked off. And so don't be afraid to ask. And then, don't be afraid to ask for anything. This is your future, so do what you got to do to get where you want to be. Second, enjoy the process. For me, my process was so stressful, but when I look back at it, I just smile and I just appreciate it, because it was definitely a lot of fun. After kind of getting to where I am now, you guys will all experience that. After you guys all get accepted, you guys will be like, oh man, I did that. So just enjoy the process. And then third, don't stress. You guys are going to put yourself in a great position. You guys are going to do what you have to do. You'll get into dental school. It may be a little nerve-wracking. You may not get into the one that you want to, but you will get into a dental program. You will become a dentist at the end of the day. So don't stress too much. It's not worth stressing. But all right, guys, that's all I have for you guys today. I hope I've given you guys some good information, some good insight. But feel free to message me, reach out to me, contact me if you have any questions. I know there is some information that I held out, but I said I would be willing to share in a more private matter. So hit me up on Instagram. My handle is going to be Nick Bautista _ or you can email me. It's going to be BAUTIN, the number 2, at unlv.nevada.edu. But yes, thank you, FutureDDS, for giving me this opportunity. And for everyone watching, I appreciate you and good luck. You're going to kill it.